Okay, we use it every single day, right? To buy coffee, pay rent, save up for something. But have you ever really stopped to think about what money is? I mean, really. Its history is this incredible story of human ingenuity, this constant cycle of solving one problem just to create a whole new one. So let's trace that journey together. No, seriously, think about it for a second. That cash in your wallet, it's just paper and ink. And your bank balance, that's just data on a server somewhere. So what gives this stuff the power to be exchanged for, well, everything? That's the big question we're going to dig into. You see, from ancient coins and these little cowrie shells all the way up to credit cards and banknotes, money has never, ever been just one thing. It's more like an idea that we've had to reinvent over and over and over again to solve new problems as they pop up. It's really evolved right alongside us. So way before money, there was just barter. It's pretty much the oldest form of commerce you can imagine, just a simple, direct trade. You know the drill. You've got a chicken, I've got a bag of grain. If we both want what the other person has, boom, we make a deal. Sounds simple, right? Well, maybe not so much. Okay, so here's the catch. For that barter to work, it's not enough that I want your chicken. You also have to want my grain at the exact same time. It's what's called the double coincidence of wants, and honestly, it's a huge pain. It's super inefficient. I mean, what if you don't need grain today? Well, I guess I'm out of luck, and I don't get my chicken. It was pretty clear that humanity needed a better system. And so, people started to innovate. They came up with the very first forms of money. Basically, these were just objects that everyone in a community agreed had value, and that alone made trading a whole lot easier. And the variety of this early money is just, it's wild. You've got cattle and other livestock being used way back in 9000 BC. I mean, they were literally our first walking assets. Then fast forward to China around 1200 BC, and you've got these little cowrie shells taking over. And get this, they were so successful that they became the most widely and longest used currency in all of human history. That's incredible. But you can probably already see the new set of problems, right? I mean, carrying a cow around to buy some bread, not exactly practical. And how on earth do you make change for a sheep? So yeah, these early commodity monies, they solved the barter problem, but they created new ones. They weren't durable, they weren't easy to divide, and they were definitely not portable. And that leads us to the next big significant the invention of coins. Using metal was a total game changer. It pretty much solved the problems of durability and divisibility all in one go. What's really cool is that coinage was basically invented twice, in two totally different parts of the world. So over in China, around 1000 BC, they started by making these little metal imitations of their cowrie shells out of bronze and copper. Eventually, those evolved into these unique coins shaped like tools or knives. But then way over in Lydia, that's in modern-day Turkey, they took a completely different path around 500 BC. They created the first round coins we'd recognize today, made from precious metals like gold and silver, and stamped by the government to guarantee their weight and authenticity. So the world now has coins. Fantastic innovation, right? But as trade started to boom, especially in China, the success of coins created a brand new and very heavy problem. You see, Chinese coins had these little holes in them, so people would string them together. Now, imagine you're a merchant making a big purchase. You might have to lug around several of these super heavy strings of coins. It was clumsy, it was awkward, and honestly, it was pretty dangerous. So, once again, humanity needed a better solution. And the solution they came up with was pure genius. It all started pretty organically during the Tang Dynasty. Merchants would just issue their own private IOUs, basically paper receipts for trade. Then the Song Dynasty government got involved. First, they licensed official shops to handle deposits. And then, in the 1100s, they took the final step and issued the world's very first government-backed paper money, called the jiaozi. And just like that, the banknote was born. But this incredible invention, it came with a huge hidden danger. You see, the Mongol Yuan dynasty, who came after the Song, just started printing more and more and more of this paper money, with nothing real to back it up. The result? Runaway inflation that absolutely wrecked the economy. It got so bad that in 1455, China actually gave up on paper money entirely. They didn't touch it again for centuries. All right, let's jump forward a few centuries into the modern era. The rest of the world eventually did embrace paper money, but they wrestled with that exact same question of value. And for a long, long time, the answer seemed to be tying money to something physical.
This brings us to the age of the gold standard. Kicking off with England in 1816, the world's major economies basically guaranteed that you could, at least in theory, walk into a bank and exchange your paper money for a fixed amount of actual gold. This system was the rule for over a century. But then the Great Depression hit in the 1930s, and that economic catastrophe just shattered the whole thing for good.
And that leads us directly to the system we all use today, fiat money. Now, this is a huge shift. Fiat money has zero intrinsic value. It's not backed by gold, it's not backed by silver. Its value comes from just one thing, our collective faith and trust in the government that issues it. It's valuable simply because we all agree that it's valuable. And this is where both the immense power and the incredible risk comes in. A government can use it to manage the economy, but just like the Yuan dynasty learned the hard way centuries ago, they can also destroy that trust and set off crazy inflation. Which brings us right up to today. This whole story of money becoming more and more abstract, going from a physical cow to a piece of paper representing value. Well, it's pretty much reached its logical conclusion in our digital age. I mean, think about it. When you tap your card at a store or send money to a friend with an app, no actual money changes hands, right? It's just bits and bytes, ones and zeros flying through cyberspace. This digital cash is the ultimate form of fiat money. Its value is based entirely on our trust in the whole banking and government system that's managing all that data. And so, here we are. Our journey brings us right back to where we started. The history of money has been this relentless cycle of reinvention, of solving one problem only to find a new one waiting. We've watched it evolve from something you could touch and hold like cattle or shells into pure information. And all of that leaves us with one last, really big question to think about. What's the next chapter in this incredible story?